Welcome. Thank you. My name is Femi Akonde. I welcome you all to the hottest debate show on TV, The Big Issue. It was a majority vote for a change in government in 2015 general election. This ushered in the administration of Muhammadu Buhari, and change was the word. The government promised to tackle corruption, fight insurgency, and also revive the economy. The journey to effect this change has lasted for more than 30 months, but not many Nigerians agree that this journey has been worthwhile. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo's letter to the president whipped up sentiments mutually shared by many Nigerians who say poverty, insecurity, poor economic management, and nepotism are part of the myriad of troubles that has clogged the wheel of progress in Nigeria. But the presidency feels the country is making steady progress. On the big issue today, we ask, is change not achievable in 4 years? Well, we'll start the debate when we return from this short break. Don't go away. You're still watching The Big Issue. Welcome back. On the show today, we have two respected gentlemen who have one thing in common, and that is their support for President Muhammadu Buhari's election in 2015. But the federal government's performance so far has divided them. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Gbola Oba, a political analyst. Gbola Oba, come on stage. Take your stand over there. Well, Gbola Oba is a political analyst. He is also a business developer, but he's not so impressed with the performance of the federal government. Welcome, Gbola Oba.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right. And on the other side, I have Joe Igbokwe. Welcome, Joe Igbokwe. Welcome, Joe. Thank you. All right, take your stand over there. Well, since 2015, Joe Igbokwe's support for President Muhammadu Buhari has remained unflinching. Joe Igbokwe is the spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress here in Lagos State and also a strong member of the party. Welcome, Joe Igbokwe.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, welcome them again. Well, Gbola Oba, 2015, the government rode into power on, of course, popular votes, goodwill, but today it appears, from your own standpoint, you're not really impressed with the journey so far.
Yes, I am not. And I'm not because I know that the intellectual resourcefulness of this government, given the antecedents of some of the people in this government should be punching harder, should be doing better. I am disillusioned because, for me, Gbola Oba, the central reason why this government is not quite punching as it should punch is because of the principal officer of the government. If you aspire to get to a position for 12 years, if 90 days before you were sworn in, you knew you were going to assume office, if you came into office and it took you 6 months in a 4-year tenure to constitute your cabinet, something is fundamentally wrong.
Something is fundamentally wrong. Joe, what is wrong?
Well, I'm going to look at it. I'm an engineer by profession. And I know that if you are laying a foundation for a 25-story building, if anybody is not conversant with engineering works, if you are there 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, they may not understand what you are doing until they see the building standing. It's different. It's a different thing, if you are doing a room and parlor. You can just raise it. So, and this consensus building is what has kept Japanese what they are today. They take time to build their consensus, and then you get to where you want to go. It takes time. They take time to do it. But looking at it, what was the kind of platform or government President Buhari inherited? I have worked with Lagos for how many years now? Close to 14 years. And I saw the foundation that was laid in 1999. When Achiwaju came to power, he appointed 40 wise men, and they brought a platform, a kind of roadmap to where the government is going. And today, it has been a steady progress. But Abuja is a different ball game. When it became obvious that this government is coming, the looting started, the destruction started. You get me? The destruction started. In fact, the president inherited a devastated house, a looted house, destroyed house, defamed house. By the time he got to Abuja, it was a different ball game. It wasn't like Lagos. So, he started building. Those who lost the elections did not go home to sleep. They started blowing up the oil pipelines. And you know, oil pipelines, the gas pipelines are connected to power generation. True. Most of our installations use gas. And to compound the problem, the oil price went down. The oil price went down. At the time, we are supposed to be making an input of 2.4 million barrels of crude oil a day. We are getting less than 800. The blackmail was too much. The hate was too much because they never envisaged that the man is coming. I can go on and on, but that was the platform, the seat of government the man inherited. You see, we should building a nation as diverse, as culturally, different ethnic groups that we have. It's not a tea party. It's not a tea party.
Let me respond. Let me respond to some of the
talked about
let me respond to some of the
five-story building. Do you want it to crumble like a pack of cards?
My brother, it's not that difficult. I said earlier on that the man aspired for the office for 12 years. And to be very honest with you, I also know that there was kleptocracy before he came in. One of the reasons why some of us supported him was because we knew he was a character, and given the political assets that were around him, we knew if he allowed his assets to work for him, he could do better. What happened when he won the election? When he won the election, he got so conceited that those who worked to bring him to power could not even see him. They couldn't see him. He took Gbola Oba in one instance, sitting 3 hours to see President Muhammadu Buhari. And you know those who started seeing the damn bazaars of this world. When was the last time you saw Dan Bazaar? You saw Dan Bazaar. The last time you heard of Dan Bazaar, I don't need the clap. I don't need the clap. This is an issue for the development of Nigeria. The last time we saw Dan Bazaar was when the chief of army staff.
Gbola Oba, were you there?
No.
Let's hear. I'll let you react. I'll let you react to him. I will allow you react to that. I will allow you react to that.
Oh, forget about that. When he came into power.
Be specific.
I will allow you to react to that. When it gets to a point where that segment is called Fire for Fire. All right, but now I will moderate this.
When he got into power, like my friend really said, there were bombs in the South blowing the pipes. But the first bomb in the South did not happen until 9 months after President Muhammadu Buhari came to power. 9 months. And on the 6th month of President Muhammadu Buhari's assumption of power, you know what happened? The leaders of the South went to Abuja wanting to see the president with a view to helping him articulate a peaceful environment in the South. He snubbed them. Snubbed them. S-N-U-B-B-E-D. Snubbed them. And you know what? With that kind of arrogance, when bombing started, Some of us were saying it was going to be imperative to engage the South people. We kept hearing from some people who are orisers, professional orisers, saying, Buhari will deal with them, Buhari will handle them. What did Buhari government do eventually? Today is still talking to them, practically begging.
But Gbola Oba, are you not putting too much now on the table of the president? He has a team, like you said, and looking at the antecedents, the track record of the members of his team. So why are we not talking about the team members? How well have they performed?
I'm an employer of labor. If I hire you, I can fire you. If you're not doing what I want you to do and I don't see.
Okay. They said he's not doing well. Abi?
He could do far better.
Okay, let me come. 4 points.
He could do far better.
4 points I'm going to give you. No leader in this country, living or dead, has been able to bomb corruption the way this man has done since he came to power. People were doubting, and I began to show pictures. I showed the pictures of houses that have been taken away from them. I showed the money. You know? I also talked about the improvement in the power generation. I also talked about the fact that for the first time in 45 years, Nigeria economy is no longer dependent on oil. FIRS, Federal Internal Revenue, was able to generate 4 trillion in 2017. 4 trillion. If you add it to 1.2 trillion or 1.4 from customs, it will give you almost the same thing we got in oil, from oil in 2017. That is a humongous achievement. That is a humongous achievement. You don't expect everybody to like him. They can't like him. They wanted him to die. They wanted him to die.
No, he's right.
This man said, look,
the first voted for him.
No. It's not.
Some
it's not those people.
Yeah.
Look at the
majority of Nigerians.
Look at the ordinary people that voted for him. Those people we are talking about, the elites will not vote for him because he's coming to take away feeding bottles from their mouths. And that's what the man did. He took their houses. He faced the lawyers and judges.
And Nigerians,
he faced the generals.
Nigerians
they were returning
him for
cars. They were returning money. They were returning buildings.
Nigerians applauded him for that, but they also asked how this would also translate in better living standards for them.
We will get there. Let us not behave like somebody who mistakenly found himself into a pit toilet. He fell inside, and he has been there for 3 days. And by the time they put the ladder to bring you, hey, bring me out. Oh, the smell of this shit is too much. Yeah. Or like the Israelis that left Egypt with a small problem. They said, please take us back to Egypt. Take us back to Egypt. It's better. That's what some people are saying. And if it is corruption, let it be. Let us get the money. The money has been flowing. We have to lay the foundation to build this country. And laying the foundation to build this country, we have to pay the price that we will not pay. If you go to meet a doctor in the morning and say you have a stomach yesterday night, what did you eat yesterday? What did you eat yesterday? Why Lagos laid the foundation for growth? We did not see it in Abuja. Everybody was stealing. Can you see why they are not happy? Almost 20,000 accounts. Almost 20,000. One agency of government had 41.
Right.
They steal.
We need to let
it was possible for them to steal a budget. And nobody's. You don't know what has happened. They stole the budget. And banks were keeping the money. The banks were keeping the money. We are raking billions every month. Charges, bank charges. They are no longer seeing the money.
All right.
In one fell swoop, this man was saving 30 billion naira every month from TSA account. You will not see the money. You will, even you travel, I'm from Southeast. And I know that for 16 years they played us. Southeast added only 193,000 votes to the presidency. But go to Southeast. Go and see the Enugu-Port Harcourt road they used to dupe us for 16 years. They did not vote for Buhari. Go and see Second Niger Bridge. Go and see Enugu-Onitsha road. Go and see Aba. As I speak to you now, there are bulldozers in Aba, Owerri.
Is it a one-man show?
Dualization.
It's not a one-man show. I would also give you your time.
You don't have anything to say here.
Hold on. All right. Let's cheer Joe Igbokwe up. Gbola Oba, you have the floor. Joe, let's give Gbola Oba the floor now.
He has nothing to say now.
But let's see the floor to him. Let's see the floor to him. Let's listen to what he has to say.
He has nothing to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, it will be anybody who does not celebrate the fact that the president genuinely has a commitment to want to fight corruption must be either mischievous or indeed the person is sadistic.
Thank you.
However, the likes of Igbokwe are not helping the president.
How?
How? He's going to answer that.
This gentleman anchors some other programs on TVC, and I'm seeing a couple of faces of some other anchors of TVC programs here. I have been mouthing whistleblowers law. I've been mouthing it for the last 4 years.
That's correct.
The government in less than 1 year implemented whistleblowers law, policy, not even law. What has become of it? It has given them more result than the uncoordinated, uncharacteristic, and unstrategic, melodramatic attempt. You know what? If you want to fight with people, who are well-resourced, you better be very strategic. And in being strategic, what do you need to do? The best way to fight corruption, and I have examples across the world, is to empower you, and Gbola Oba and Igbokwe to be agents of fighting corruption. You want me to shock you? The most corrupt agencies of this country today are the agencies that are bathed by statute to fight corruption, because when you go there, most of the operatives, if you do a forensic check on the accounts, you will shake your head. Hey, I don't need a clap. This is a serious issue of Nigeria. A friend of mine has a younger brother in Ibadan. The younger brother was unemployed for about 7 years. The brother was feeding him from London. He got employment in ICPC, and in less than 8 months, he bought 2 houses.
Huge
Something is wrong. I am one who believes that it's about time we changed the statutes that Obasanjo put in place to enhance his own megalomania and control of the political sphere. Change those statutes to empower people to fight corruption. The statutes as they stand now, ICPC, EFCC, they are particularly conjured to enrich the powers of the presidency. And in enriching the powers of the presidency, the agents of state who ought to make those laws work are using it to profit themselves. Tweak the law. Empower Nigerians. Let an average Nigerian knows that if you spill on a cheat, the state or the Commonwealth will not only get part of his loot back, you indeed, as an agent of progress, will be enriched. Has it not worked for this government? Some of us have been saying it for 4 years. I want corruption to be fought. Corruption. I'm an entrepreneur. I will bloom more. I will prosper more in an environment where innovation, creativity, entrepreneurialism is rewarded. But you know what? If you want to be jackboot about the way you fight corruption, you will get yourself in a mess. That is why there's no single major conviction in the last going to 3 years. Now, let me take another issue that my friend Joe Igbokwe took. When some of us were supporting Muhammadu Buhari...
Go that side, go that side.
Yeah, that's your
Go that side before I made him
All right.
When some of us were supporting Muhammadu Buhari, It was because of our conviction. I'm a proud capitalist. But I tell people I'm a capitalist with a conscience. And I don't act with conscience with my capitalism because I love the country. No, because I have discovered in all the places I've lived that when as a capitalist you enrich the base of your country and you lift people out of poverty, you will increase the level of your
Okay, you may need to stand behind your podium. At the time of our segment, you can now
I'm coming. You will enrich the level of your prosperity. That was why when Muhammadu Buhari was campaigning and the APC was telling us that they were going to feed school children once a day, we supported him. You know why? A healthy children will be able to learn and will turn out to be a good employee, or indeed a good player in the economic ecosystem. When Muhammadu Buhari was saying the indigent and the poor, they were going to give them at least some form of welfare, this thing. Some of us liked it because, let me be brass knuckle honest with you, I've lived in society. I'm coming. You didn't interject him now.
No. We have to move forward to other segments. But I would also like you to know that the
TSA monies were going into that account, going to that account. If part of the TSA monies were used when we were in the dead nada of the recession to galvanize economic activities by putting monies in people's hands and using it to incentivize people, if you don't go for training, we will stop your money in 3 months as a young unemployed person. If you, as this thing, don't learn a skill, we will stop your money. Money will be in their hands, they will buy goods and services, the economy will be galvanized, and people will be motivated.
All right, thank you very much. But you know, some people would say that maybe you're just emphasizing the negatives here. Some people also feel that the economy has improved.
Did I not commend it? Did I not commend you for the courage of character to fight corruption?
You did.
But even if your purpose is right,
emphasize that,
and your style is wrong, what will become of it?
All right, then a round of applause for our debaters. Well, we'll go on a quick break at this point, and when we return, it will be time for the Fire for Fire segment. Don't go away, you're still watching The Big Issue. Welcome back. You're still watching The Big Issue. Well, it's the Fire for Fire segment. Gentlemen, in this segment, let me read out the riot acts. In this segment, of course, you are free to... It's a face-off. You're free to... No! You're free to ask yourselves questions. Of course, you're free to argue.
Fortunately, I came with Mufu Denja.
At intervals, I may have to interject either of you at any time at my own discretion. But mind your language, and of course, you're respected gentlemen, so you know. All right then, the ball is in your court. Fire on.
Gbola. Given where we're coming from and where we are, do you think that we have not made, even though we may not have gotten to the promised land, haven't we made substantial progress for you to say, look, you have done very well, but you need to take it, move it further?
I would rather put it this way, that given the fact that this administration still has about a calendar year to perform...
6 months.
We know 6 months will be devoted to politics. 90 days is actually behind the election.
That even started.
So, because this government has 1 calendar year, I want to enjoin Mr. President to brace up so seriously that the first 2.5 years, even the president said 2.5 years into his government that he was just going to start governing. The president said that. And when some of us who supported him and who have been taunted and who have been abused and who have been humiliated on the streets just thought he was ready to work, a couple of weeks ago, about a couple of days ago, talking to some APC chieftains, he said he was not going to be hurried again. I said, Baba, don't slow, move.
Did that answer your question, Joe?
Well, a figment of his own imagination. Now, Oba, do we want this country to move and join the community of civilized nations?
That's a rhetorical question.
Paying the price that we, because everything you must do, you have to pay the price. If you want to be, somebody said, if you want to plant, if you want to do something for 1 year, you know, plant.
Going to 3 years.
Rice.
Going to 3 years.
5, rice. 10 years, plant trees. Then, for 100 years, educate. When you are paying school fees,
that was before the internet.
I'm coming. When you are going to school, when you are paying school fees, before you start using the internet, when you are paying school fees for your kids, from kindergarten to primary, to university, to secondary school to university, you are making investment, knowing that tomorrow you will harvest. There is no product without a process.
Don't you have any question for Joe Igbokwe?
I don't have question. What question do I want to ask? Joe is in Lagos. The people in control of power are in Abuja. The only thing I would want to, if I may ask, is Joe, would you, even as you do, delusionally believe that the government is performing super tanker well?
I didn't say super tanker well.
Okay.
I said.
What did you say?
I said that we may not have gotten to the.
Can I ask you my question?
Gotten to the promised land.
Can I ask you my question?
No, let me address this one first.
Okay.
But we have made humongous,
would you, Joe,
gigantic progress in the areas of, fighting
would
corruption,
you, Joe,
invest in internal investment, infrastructure.
Would you, Joe?
Today, as I speak to you,
would you,
don't
Joe,
forget.
Would
the
you,
volume
Joe?
Of business
would
in the
you,
stock market
Joe?
is up to 50.
My question time, Joe.
Yeah, his question time.
Would you, Joe, want to use this opportunity to enjoin Mr. President and those who are assisting him to punch their weight, because you and I know that they could do better?
Well, nobody has.
You are stuttering. You are stuttering.
No.
I want you to be as articulate as the Joe I know.
We are not. I can't claim that I'm the best God ever created. What we need is encouragement. If somebody is doing
encourage
well,
them.
Yes, if your child is doing well in school, you go to the market. They'll go to the market, buy something for that child.
Buy a computer.
He will do better.
Buy a laptop.
Moses. Those of you who are students of the Bible know that Moses was.
He
was.
And he had an Aaron.
There was a war. There was a war going on. And he immediately stretches his hand like this, he will be winning. By the time the hands began to fall.
So they helped him to lift it up. So would you want to use this opportunity to help the president to lift his hand?
All we are doing is encouragement. Encourage the president to do more. Encourage the president to do more.
We have agreed.
So okay, he just said you have agreed. So should we end the debate? Because I think you all agreeing on the same thing that
the president.
Let's support our president to do well.
If Achiwaju had finished all the problems in Lagos, Fashola wouldn't have been there.
But Gbola Oba, you need to know this.
If Fashola had finished all the problems,
he wants to help you. Let him help you. You are not doing it the way. He wants to help you.
Solve the problems of the nation.
Fire!
Lifetime to the end of age.
We have
fire!
Okay, you know, like
give it to me. Bring it on.
You know, like when in Joe's opening, he laid a foundation, and he said also that the people whose feeding bottle have been taken off their mouth will also not go to sleep. They are the ones that don't see that. They are the ones that don't see that President Buhari has stabilized the naira. He has boosted Nigeria's foreign reserve. He has galvanized the country's agricultural production. He has also reined in on import excesses such as rice and, of course, toothpicks, like he said. And, you know, these are some of the areas that maybe some fifth columnists and those people whose feeding bottle have been taken off their mouth, according to Joe, are refusing to emphasize.
You have really helped him. But
no, I'm saying that, are you deliberately refusing to emphasize this achievement?
I was once a partisan politician in England, and I contested on the platform of the Conservative Party, the ruling party now in England. That was 1997. And one of the things I was told as a candidate was that people, when they want to vote, always consider their... If when we were all campaigning for chingy, chingy, chingy. You were buying, if you were buying sachet water for 50 naira, and you have to buy it now for 150 naira. If we were buying a liter of petrol for 69 or 67 or 69 naira, and you are now buying it for 143, 145, if exchange rate was 170 under a kleptomaniacal government, and it's now 360, you will be delusional to be telling your candidate to go out there and use the economy to campaign. I'm talking now as an APC.
When we get to the bridge, we will cross it.
You know what?
When we get to the bridge, we will cross it.
You know what?
When we get to the bridge, we will cross it.
Femi, I know. Jokes apart, ladies and gentlemen, it is almost anathema for me to even contemplate voting PDP. That is how disturbed I am now. But can I take mediocrity for performance?
Which one is mediocrity? No. Please, don't.
All right, gentlemen, you need to hold on, because at this point, members of the audience would also get the opportunity to participate in this debate, and that will be after this quick break. Don't go away. You're still watching The Big Issue. Welcome back. Indeed, we're having an interesting time in the House today. And of course, our debaters have lived up to expectation. But members of the audience would also ask their own questions. Your own question now, sir.
Amuche Emmanuel, going by the topic, is change achievable under 4 years. Probably within this present 4 years, which is we are left with like 1 year and less than 6 months, I don't see any change. Probably maybe from 2019 and above.
Beyond.
For the way forward, first, for us to encounter a real change, is to review the Constitution, such that we should have a single tenure of just 5 years for the office of the presidency, the National Assembly, and the governors. That way, this desperation and do or die politics syndrome.
Who were the people who criticized that suggestion?
I'm coming.
Who were the people who criticized that suggestion when Jonathan made it?
Hold on, let me just...
Jonathan made that suggestion when he was in power.
No.
Who were the people who criticized it?
I have said one.
Quickly, you have to land.
This issue, let me make reference to this Fulani headsmen issue. The inability of the present government, even I'm not going to blame this government alone, I'm also going to blame the other previous administration to bring this Fulani issue to a standstill. It raises a lot of suspicion, especially under this administration. Now we are talking about grazing or cattle colonies. What's the meaning of these cattle colonies? Let me just quickly. This issue is as simple as ABC. What is the solution? If a Fulani headsman cannot afford to get a piece of land, use it for a ranch, or rent it, then the person should be sent out of business. I mean, these farmers we are talking about, who provided them with this farmland? Is it the government? No. They acquired this land with their hard-earned money, or they rented it. So should be the case of the headsmen. I rest my case.
All right. The rest is case. Okay, then I would let you quickly respond to that, and then Joe will... You have just a minute to respond.
The lifespan of a government in Australia is 2.5 years. And Australia has been the only liberal democracy in the last 25 years that has not been in a recession. 2.5 years is the last span of an average administration in Australia. And it is the only liberal democracy in the world that has not been in recession in 25 years. It is not the time. It is the game plan you came to office with. And you know what? You said something about 1 term of 5 years. When Jonathan mooted it, what were the opposition then saying? They lambasted him. They rubbished him. Oh, you're talking about the Fulani S-men and constitutional this thing.
Right.
We still have a federation, but some people are... Go and listen to the remarks of the Minister of Defense some days ago.
But I remember you were also in the opposition then.
Oh, yes, I was.
So you were part of those that lambasted Jonathan when he mooted the idea of a single-term presidency.
You know what? Those of us then told some of your members that, you know what, a single tenure presidency may be right for Nigeria, given the fact that the last term is essentially used for kleptocracy. We said it. I'm on tape. Look, I am very consistent. What I've been saying the last 5, 6, 7 years is what I've been saying. Every second-term governor, what do they do?
All right, then, Joe, take it up. Take it away.
It will be all over the world. in advanced democracies, whether it's US, whether it's UK, whether it's France, you get second term. You get second. It's a constitutional issue. If you want to go and amend this thing, it may take you years to do that. The important thing is that people must know. Especially for somebody waiting to be president in 2023. As an Igbo, he's waiting to be president.
Anybody.
So he must
be Are you using this platform to campaign for him?
Not interject.
All right then, Joe, quickly.
I'm saying it depends on
the man. Or nothing.
The man
so who my friend can become president in 2023.
Who is in the saddle?
For president.
Who is in the saddle? Who is in the saddle? For Lagos, I've worked for Lagos for close to 14 years. And right from day one, the governor knows what he's supposed to do because there's a platform. And he's doing it. It's a non-stop thing. It's your image. So, number of years, I think, does not, if you want to, you can make an impact in 4 years. You can make an impact in 8 years. So
why is this people not making an impact?
What is different? I have said it right from from the beginning of this show, that Lagos and Abuja don't have the same platform.
Oh, Homo sapiens in Lagos
have the same
all right, let's hear Joe out.
They don't have the same structure. Structure of seamless movement.
Leadership. It's all about leadership.
We know
Joe,
why. Have more questions.
Joe, it's all about leadership.
We have more questions. All right, your question, sir. Let's hear his question.
Okay, my name is Moritala Jr. So I'm going to say to you, Mr. Joe Igbokwe, my assumption is yes or no to the Buhari government. Yes. The first thing is, I quite agree that Buhari wouldn't have started in a very nice way because, I mean, different people coming together, political, different, coming together into government, definitely it's going to be rough. But one thing I don't like about the Nigerian government is this. They want to take our side, they don't want to take liabilities. No responsibility, but Nigerians are fantastic people. We want something, not everything. So to you, that is it. My submission.
All right then.
Hey, let me quickly respond to that.
Quickly, 30 seconds.
A man who is politically naive became the president of America. He makes his mess daily. In fact, nanoseconds. But you know what? On matters of principles and policies, because he's a plutocrat, what has he done? He liberalized the business environment, cutting regulations, and what did he do? He cut tax. Look at the boom in the American economy. When you know what you want to do, even when you are acting foolishly, the best example is the president who says he's a P something. When you know what you want to do, even when you act foolishly, you will still make a mark. Is the American economy booming now?
Yes. Joe.
The American economy cannot be compared with a Nigerian economy because they started earlier. But let me tell you, let me shock you. It took America 90-something years to get what the Constitution promised them right from day one, if you have read American history. It took them 93 years. You see, democracy is a slow process, but it's still the best in the world.
All right.
Everybody knows this.
We have more questions.
It's a slow process.
But still the best in the world.
You must come to consensus. You must debate issues. You saw what time it took for them to pass the budget. The president said this budget is parted. They said, no, you must pass it, and they will delay you. It's you that will suffer.
All right, let's allow this lady to ask that question.
Who was naive enough to disrespect the opinion of those who wanted to help him constitute a parliament that will be amenable to his policies?
Let's hear this lady's question. Oh yeah, your question. Your question.
My name is.
Who? They wanted to help him.
Your question,
they
please.
knew he was not a politician.
Olukoya. I personally voted for Buhari in 2015.
I spent my money.
Yes, I voted for him. I even made enemies because of him. A lot of friends deserted me on social media because of him. But today, I'm highly disappointed.
Please don't be disappointed.
Let me finish. My question.
Repeat that. Repeat that.
I'm highly disappointed.
When you are reading the Bible, for a pastor, repeat that.
You would have the opportunity.
Oh yeah, repeat that.
You would have the hold on, madam. Hold on.
When you are reading the Bible for a Pentecostal pastor,
you would have an opportunity to respond to her question or comment.
My question is very short and is directed to Mr. Joe. You talked about paying the price and sacrifice. Are our leaders, Buhari, are they also paying? Buhari. Yeah, President Buhari. Sorry to say, are they also paying the price with us?
Did you see?
Are they? They should pay the price alongside with us. Why should we be the only people paying the price? Why?
Our question. Okay, let's ask her. Hold on. What's your question for?
It's for me.
Yes.
For Mr. Joe, let's allow Mr. Joe.
And when you talk about paying the price,
Yes.
is he or they, are they paying the price alongside with us? Why should we?
Do you pay for petrol?
The question is for Mr. Joe.
Do you pay for
Thank you.
electricity?
Mr. Joe, the question is for Mr. Joe. Go ahead.
Do you know that this president contested in 2023? Yes. 2007, 2011, and then made it in 2015.
Roll over the agenda.
Did you see the power of consistency? Did you see it? Do you know that if you have to be the president of this, you have to traverse the whole landscape of this country? Do you know he ended in courts in those 4 occasions? He was going to court on the case, got to the Supreme Court. That is a price. 2, do you know the hate he suffered when he was sick? Did you watch the Facebook, what people are posting? Let this man die. Some people even announce his obituaries. These are prices that you have to pay to be in office. Once you bring yourself to public office, you accept anything.
Do you all pay for petrol when you get to the petrol station?
We have more questions.
Do you pay for electricity bill?
Let him
Do you pay for the food you eat? Most of them don't pay for it.
All right, your question.
All right, my name is John Akerele.
Let's listen. Please.
Mr. Igbokwe and Mr. Gbola Oba is somebody I respect so much. But I want to ask you, Mr. Igbokwe, from what you said. You mentioned to us here this afternoon that you were given a loan as an undergraduate,
yes,
as a graduate back then, and you
paid
back the loan.
Yes.
Can you tell us here and the whole of Nigeria how many young graduates can access loans easily with the same ease you used to access your own loan the other time? That is 1. 2, sir, about agriculture.
Hold on, please. Quickly.
About agriculture, you made mention that Honorable Minister of Agriculture is doing fantastically well. I quite agree with you, he's doing fantastically well. But I want to say to you that it is only on paper that he's fantastically well, not physically. No, and these are my reasons. I'm a plantain farmer, and I can say to you, I have not been able to access any of the government loans for us. So if you are saying that they should be giving colony to the artsmen, we plantain farmers also should be given colony.
I have to write 3 projects. The first one was cancelled. The second was cancelled because I wanted to do a mechanical maintenance.
Ironically, I was in that class.
The bank woman told me, Mrs. Jayola, it's late now. He said, Joe, take this money. Go and start a restaurant business. Then you will make money very quick and you will still do what you want to do. And I took the loan. When I got home, my sisters said, you did engineering. You want to go and do hotel business. They couldn't understand. They thought I was mad. But today I'm a better person. But it was not a tea party.
All right.
Everything you get in this world, you have to work for it. Move. Don't let anybody stop you.
There's a question for Mr. Gbola Oba.
And the best thing to do is not even...
My name is Marvelous. I would like to ask Mr. Gbola about something. We are looking at Buhari, and everybody's focusing on the presidency. President Buhari, sorry to say, President Buhari. We are focused on the presidency, but we forget that we have 3 arms of government. We also have the legislator and the...
Do you live in Lagos?
I live in, yes, sir.
What is the quality of governance in Lagos?
The quality of governance is good. But sir, in the federal, we see people trying to frustrate the president in not doing his work well.
Let's hear his question. Let's hear his question first. Let's hear his question first. All right.
Sir, we see people trying to frustrate. We see people in this same party, in APC, some senators working against the president, trying to make sure that anything that the president does, like what happened in Imo State and in what I'm trying to say is that don't you feel that we should be looking at other arms of government, like focusing on the legislator, like in making laws that will favor the poor masses like us, and forget about the president for a minute and focus on other aspects.
Good question. Let me answer. Let me give you this answer. The leadership of the 2 chambers of the National Assembly was to be constituted. The president traveled out of Nigeria. People who wanted him to succeed were chasing him about the world with telephone. In fact, they made him to give instruction that the members of his party who are members of the upper chamber of the National Assembly should congregate at a place. That morning, soldiers, the only elected state official that is guarded by soldiers in Nigeria is the president. The soldiers were already positioned in that, which is an indication that the president was going to come there. You know what? The president was so lackadaisical about it that a coup was fomented against him in the Senate. Naivety has a price.
It's not
naivety.
He wanted democracy to play out.
But then, are we going to exonerate other
and you know what? And you know what? In every party, I told you earlier on that I was a politician in England, member of the Conservative Party. When I was a member of the Conservative Party, and in fact, some members came to knock on my door and begged me to contest, there were some members of the Conservative Party that never wanted to see me because I was a black man. In every party, you don't have uniform opinion. There will be differences.
All right, then.
As somebody who has the strategic advantage, you don't waste it as the president wasted it.
Can I add?
Who's your question?
Can I respond? It's actually a comment.
Are you in sync with me now?
All right, then.
My name is Oluwasesin. My name is Oluwasesin Bukola. I'm disappointed because the government keeps talking about the presidency, keeps blaming the last government. If Nigeria was okay, we wouldn't be asking for change. The one and only reason why Nigerians were crying for change.
Who knows how to drive? When you are driving, do you look at the windscreen or the rear view mirror?
Let's hear her out first.
The windscreen or the
let her talk.
The reason why Nigerians were crying for change was because what was on ground was terrible and was disappointing. Now, if you come into government and you spend don't spend half of your life saying what you want to do and the remaining half regretting why you don't do what you wanted to do. That is one thing. Then number two, you said there were acres of land for agriculture. What becomes of those the rice they are planting when the cows eat them up? We won't have to get them. If not, nothing is done about the Fulani herdsmen. Number two, the third thing I want to talk about was that Nigerians, we were gullible when APC was campaigning for this election. They campaigned as if they were magicians, as if there was a pin in Nigerians' hand that they will just come into power and remove it. They said things that were too good to believe. And I was telling my people, I said these things were not real. And what are we seeing? Please, let's know the difference between recovering looted money and fighting corruption. The presidency is recovering loot, not fighting corruption. If you want to fight corruption, put in place systems that will fight corruption. Thank you.
Joe Igbokwe, you need to respond to that. All right, hold on, guys. Let's hear. And please, Gbola Oba, please let's allow Joe talk without interrupting him. All right, Joe Igbokwe, let's balance the stage. That's your corner. That's your corner.
We are not.
All right, let's listen, guys.
Nobody, we don't
You want to kill him? My sister, is that good?
Bola, I just read out the riot act and you're flouting.
You want to kill him?
We don't.
Don't ask questions.
We don't cry over spilled milk. But if you don't know what killed your father is going to kill you. If you don't know, if you don't look your back, overlook your back, we crush you. If you don't look your back to know where you're coming from, then you will not get to where you're going. Yes, nobody is blaming anybody. Nobody is blaming anybody for what we have not done. Me, I'm not in Abuja. I'm in Lagos.
But I'm not in
Abuja. But
let's listen to him.
He's Homo sapien.
He's not a committed member of APC. When I believe in something, I don't withdraw easily. I don't accept easy things. Okay, there's a change. And tomorrow you start reaping. I pay for everything that I have got through solid personal effort, energies. So don't sound frustrated.
If you were born in Mushin, raised by a single parent, you would have known that I paid to get to where I am.
If we have to be honest with ourselves, that is why we went to school. And you ask yourself, what is happening? Some people will ask questions. Don't join the market women. You're not on the same pedestal with them. Ask questions. Do your judgment. You can't get to somewhere overnight. You cannot get there overnight. The change cannot come overnight. The highways you want to build in Nigeria.
The question is for Joe.
What drives the economy of any nation is infrastructure.
The question is for Joe.
We don't have it. We don't have it. And it will take you years to build it. I was in Dubai in 2009. By the time I returned in 2002, I saw In fact, when you come back, you'll be weeping for this country. We have not laid the structures that will drive the economy, that will give you jobs. We are supposed to have a world-class hospital in this country where African countries will come. We are supposed to have a world-class university.
We used to have it in the 60s.
Let me tell you, if you join all the universities we have in Nigeria, it's not up to one.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Well, at this point, we'll take another quick break, and when we return, it will be time for us to coast home. You're still watching The Big Issue. Well, welcome back. It's been an interesting debate. Now, Joe, your last take on this topic of debate today. Is 4 years enough to achieve change?
Yes, 4 years enough. 4 years is enough for you to achieve change. But given the complexity of this country, the complexity, our background, our history, it may take a little while for you to see that physical change that you are looking for. It may not be possible for this country to employ everybody. Even in the US, there's still unemployment.
It's not possible.
Even in the UK, there's still unemployment. But, you see, but what I want to say is that hope is no hope when we have to endure to the end of the world. Tomorrow, hope. Tomorrow, the other day, hope. The other day, hope. I told you my story. It has never been too good, even in the 80s. And I told you my story.
Go behind your lectern.
Just for you to understand that there's no Tea Party anywhere.
Okay, you have 20 seconds left.
There's no Tea Party anywhere. All I want you to do, hold forth. Support your country. Don't swear. It shall not be. Once you are saying it, nobody who is against his country will make progress in that country. That is one thing. That is what I'm going to leave you. There is hope for this country.
Don't confuse the country with the president.
There is hope.
You get your time.
In this country, there is hope for you. Just believe in yourself.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Joe Igbokwe. Gbola Oba, your last take on the subject of debate. Is change not achievable in 4 years?
The greatest asset of any society is the human capital. Japan does not have any mineral resource that it exports. Germany makes machines. And to be very honest with you, most prosperous societies on the face of the earth, most sustainably prosperous societies on the face of the earth today are living practically on their human capital. There are fantastic ideas that I know this government went to Abuja with. If they have started implementing it, say 6 months down the road, young Nigerians engaged in skills training, this government has 1 year. 1 year more to work. Focus on the youths, the things that will empower them in the area of skills, and find a mechanism to entrepreneurially empower the youths. We don't have the problem of unemployment in Nigeria because we have enough problems to solve to create jobs.
All right. Well, Gbola Oba and Joe Igbokwe, I would like you to officially sheath your sword on this stage here today. And please shake hands. All right, round of applause for them. Well, that's how it has been on the program today. Thank you to our viewers at home and, of course, our audience here in the studio. You can connect with us. Our handle is at TVC Connect and at TVC News NG. You can also follow me on Twitter. My handle is at Femi Akonde TVC. Thank you very much for watching The Big